Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Thursday, May 19th. Looking at our impact map for today, a big issue, a strong cold front. You can almost pick out where it is across northern Utah into central Nevada. North of it, cooler, more moist conditions with showers, high humidity. But south of the front, south of I-80, and especially south of the Highway 50, I-70 corridor, there'll be strong winds, overlapping low humidities below 15%, and a bit further south, you see the dashed line where we expect critically dry fuels, and even a little bit on either side of it, there is an increased chance of large fire potential. Those winds will still linger a little bit across the Arizona Strip and far southern Utah on Friday before the cooler, higher humidity air settles across all areas by the weekend. Over the past 24 hours, some very light showers up in the far north. We had no lightning to speak of. A lot of recent fire activity on the small side. You can see here by the yellow dots. Red indicates a new fire in the past 24 hours. It has been bone dry. Precipitation on the left, the actual amounts, and on the right, percent of normal. Those areas in dark red, anywhere from 0 to 10% of normal precipitation. So again, the dryness continues. It is reflected in our fuels, looking at the 100-hour fuels at or below 5% in this area of red. We don't normally see that to that large of an extent till sometime early to mid-June. So we are about a month ahead of schedule. And even this gold area still mid to upper single digits extending across this about the halfway point of the Great Basin. Some areas of concern down south in Ely South's area. You can see these ERCs are right up at record levels. Spring Mountains outside of Vegas, well above the normal. The normal is the gray. The record levels are the red. And you can see where we are right now, basically near the summer peak. And similar story down in the Dixie National Forest at new record levels, which mimic our early to mid-July peak down in those areas. So that is a big concern as this deep area of low pressure across the Pacific Northwest descends. The tight packing of these yellow height lines indicates a strong wind field. Have lots of clouds and humidity in the north, but it is that southern quadrant that is in the clear and will have lower humidity. So for today, there's the tight wind packing sagging further and further south, and basically north of Highway 50, I-70, humidity will be higher. There'll be clouds and even some light precip in the northern mountains, but it's further south where that low humidity overlaps the wind. We have high risk for wind in these areas in orange that parallels portions of Arizona and New Mexico. And here's why. On the wind side, you see windy everywhere. From Idaho, the orange winds are closer to 30. The purplish to brown shades are closer to 40 or 50. You can see very strong winds throughout, but look where the humidity is driest, in the single digits to low teens in the south. Once we get into northern Utah, we're closer to 30%, similar 30% or above as you head into Idaho. We'll have to watch some portions up here, but there's still some green up going up in northern Nevada. So where the green up has ended, down in the southern area, that's where our big concern is. For tomorrow, that trough descends down. The coolness and the more moist air pushes further south, but there's still a little sliver of remotely dry air and some lingering wind. So we still continue with a high risk across the Arizona Strip into far southern Utah. Humidity coming up there, not single digits, mid-teens, but it would be the second day that the winds will be howling and continue to dry out those fuels. You can see some of those winds there poking 30 to 35 miles per hour. So if we do get a fire that develops today, there'll be continued wind pushing it for tomorrow. Now things calm down on Saturday. The trough of low pressure starts settling in across the area. You see the 7-day outlook. We don't have high risk. Moist across 3/4 of the area. It's just that southern quadrant, but the winds dissipate at that point. Humidity dry in Nevada, but again, winds minimal. 3-day precipitation totals here. Look at the latter part of the weekend. We see still some lingering clouds and showers across northern areas. Zonal flow here on Sunday. This is Monday, Tuesday, and notice by Tuesday, high pressure starts building in from California into the western Great Basin and pushes eastwards and settles right across the Great Basin. Not so much with wind, but temperatures shooting up, not just back to normal, but maybe 10 degrees or 15 degrees above normal, continuing to bake our fuels, especially in southern and then eventually into central areas. 7-day precip totals, most of this in the first 3 days, and The 8 to 14-day outlook shows that continued warmer than normal conditions and drier than normal conditions for much of the southern central areas, near normal and somewhat cooler in the north. No worries in the north. It's in the southern third of the areas that we continue to have issues as we go to the end of the month. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.